Hey guys, it's been way too long since the last time I've said this, but welcome to another episode of my career mode series. I've had the flu for the last 2 weeks, and so that has really kept me out of commission. I've had coughs and the scratchy voice, and I didn't think that you guys really wanted to hear all of that in the videos, but I'm back, and hopefully we can get back to a more regular schedule, but I do have school, and I also have work, and so I don't know if I'll be able to do, an episode a day, but I'll definitely be more regular than I have been. And as you know, we don't usually do well against Arsenal, but Jonathan de Guzman breaks that curse with a very well-taken goal in the 6th minute. And then, surprisingly, Chico Flores bags our second goal in the 12th minute. And even more surprisingly, it is from a corner. And we go into halftime ahead against Arsenal 2-0 in the FA Cup. Things are looking good. But things start to go downhill after the restart, and a horrible goalkeeping mistake gives it right to Theo Walcott, and Olivier Giroud, who for some reason is good in this game, bags a goal in the 52nd minute to put them right back in this thing. And then lo and behold, all of 5'0" of Santi Cazorla gets his head on that one to make it 2-2 in the 67th minute, and that is how normal time would end. We are going into extra time to decide this FA Cup tie. We needed at least one more goal to get back in this thing, but you know how this goes. Corners kill us every time, and Thomas Vermaelen buries that in the bottom corner from a header to make it 3-2 in the 93rd minute, but we were not done. Nathan Dyer gets us back in this thing in the 101st minute, and it was looking good for us. Maybe we could pull this out after all. But that optimism was misplaced because this is Arsenal, and Santi Cazorla is still on the pitch. And how in the world did that go in? But alas, that is how this one would end. Arsenal winning it, just edging it barely, 4-3, which is really disappointing considering we had a 2-goal advantage in the first half going into halftime. And it's really disappointing to crash out of this cup that we were going so far in. But it looks like it's going to be Arsenal against either Chelsea or Man City in the final, which is going to be a pretty good game. But I really would have loved to have been in the final. But a semi berth is not bad for your first year in charge. But it looks like we have a squad report here. The young goalkeeper Alphonse Arela has already gone up 2 points to a 67 overall. I'm not all the way sold on him yet. I know he's still at a very low rating, but I'm not sure if he's going to be our goalkeeper going forward. Maybe we can scout, a better goalkeeper with some more upside and some already better stats. Grimaldo is a very interesting player, already gone up 2 points to a 68. He is one of the most aggressive left backs going forward that I've ever played with. He's constantly out of position, but he's always, giving something in the attack. Jerome Lumu is going up very nicely. He's only at a 64, but he plays much, much better. Pablo Sarabia, I'm not really that sold on him either. I don't know if he fits my playstyle yet. He could still go up, and as you saw, Jesse Rodriguez is just an absolute monster. I think he's going to get up to a 90 overall if we play him consistently, and he does consistently well. And Nathan Dyer has done really well. He's almost to a 90. He's had +3 in his stats. Wayne Routledge is another player that I'm not really sold on. He may leave in the next transfer window. And then I think the rest of these players are younger players that I hardly ever play. I'm going to try to get rid of them in the next transfer window. Getting rid of the dead wood is something that we really need to do. And Okore has some very nice stats there. I'm seeing how long he's going to be out for it. And he's actually going to be back in 3 days. So that's going to be a huge boost to the squad. Really good news there because our defense hasn't been doing well. Chico is a pretty able deputy. You saw him there. But he's not Okore, and he doesn't have the same upside as Okore. And you saw back there Jonathan de Guzman. He's another player that I would really like to bring in permanently if I could in the next transfer window. He's only on loan from Villarreal, and I really like him as a player. He has really great free kicks, and he really brings something great to the squad. But we have a game against West Brom in the Premier League. Maybe we can turn our fortunes around after that heartbreak in the FA Cup, and the Baggies would be the perfect team to do it against. And just to show that FA Cup defeat was a fluke, we come out guns a-blazing, and Semed Yesil scores our first goal in the 10th minute to put us up 1-0, and we would go into halftime ahead with that scoreline 1-0 up against West Brom, and we were still on the attack after the restart. Jerome Lumu with a rocket from his left foot, a great goal from the young Dutchman, only 17 years old. It is just amazing what he's already doing. Pablo Sarabia gets his first goal for the squad after I was just saying how I'm not sure if he fits into our plans yet, but a great goal in the 89th minute from the young Spaniard. And Peter Odemwingie gets their consolation goal in the 90th minute, and that is how it would end 3-1. That is a great scoreline for the boys. A good rebound from that FA Cup defeat, which must have been crushing. But we are back on track in the league, and we are in 5th place, that place that we want to be to qualify for the Europa League. I believe if you're in 6th or 7th, you can also qualify, but you have a harder road. You have to go through extra qualifying rounds. So hopefully we can get that automatic berth in the Europa League with that 5th place spot. But next up we have Southampton. And, they have a pretty good squad. They have Lambert, they have Lallana, Gaston Ramirez. And so there's someone that we should be beating, but we definitely shouldn't take them lightly. And Jesse Rodriguez burning up that left side, gives it to Nathan Dyer. Jonathan de Guzman dribbles into the box and gets his goal in the 48th minute. It takes a while for us to get that goal, but nonetheless, we are in the lead. And then in the 59th minute, Jerome Lumu shows some beautiful footwork to bury that in the back of the net to make it 2-0 against Southampton. But of course, like we've done so many times before, defensive mistakes lead to a very, very nice goal from Gaston Ramirez. I mean, you have to hand it to him. That was a really nice goal, but you never want to concede goals like that. And then they level it up in the 89th minute. There's just no reason that we should be tying these kinds of games that we are winning at halftime or, or have a 2-goal advantage in. There's really just no excuse to eventually tie or lose those games like we've been doing. And then to make matters worse, we are playing Chelsea next. And besides Arsenal, they are the team that I dread playing the most. They have an extremely strong squad. And even with fringe players like Florin Maluda, they have more than enough firepower to cause us tons of problems. And that is very well what they do. In the 9th minute, Fernando Torres finds the back of the net with a very well-taken header to put it up 1-0 to them. And then John Terry, their captain, puts it in the back of the net from a corner in the 12th minute to put them ahead 2-0, and things were not looking good for Swans. But Jesse Rodriguez refuses to lay down and let this game go, and puts one in the back of the net in the 14th minute to get us back in this game. That goal seemed to shake Chelsea's confidence a bit, and Jesse Rodriguez said, well, if you're not going to stop me, I'm going to do the exact same thing. And he scores our second goal in the 22nd minute. How appropriate, and we are back in this game with a shout. And then Jesse Rodriguez passes it to Grimaldo, who for some reason no one knows is in that central striking position, and finds our third goal in the 45th minute right before halftime. And we are ahead at Stamford Bridge 3-2 against Chelsea amazingly. And then Jesse Rodriguez, the man, the monster, the legend, scores his hat trick in the 88th minute. But Chelsea were not done, and again from the corner, they find yet another goal through Fernando Torres. Somehow he is scoring goals in this game, and of course not in real life when I need him to. But we end up winning this game 4-3, a great win for the boys against a team that we historically have done very, very poorly against. But we can't rest on our laurels quite yet because we have yet another away game at Wigan Athletic. And after beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, this should be a walk in the park, but you never know with these kinds of games. The underdog could come behind and really injure your hopes for that 5th place spot. But we should be able to get the 3 points here. And Simid Yesil gets our first goal after some very nice footwork in the box in the 7th minute to put us ahead 1-0 against Wigan. And then Lucas Silva pulls a copycat of Yesil and scores our second goal through very, very similar circumstances in the 19th minute to put us up 2-0. But when things were looking so good, bad omens start to appear, and Beausejour scores a worm burner from outside of the area in the 23rd minute to get them back into the game. And their second goal would come shortly after in the 27th minute, Ursula scoring that from outside of the area in the 27th minute to put them level at 2-2, but Jesse Rodriguez says that will not do, and he scores his signature goal in the 39th minute to put us back in the good. And then Jesse Rodriguez, J-Rod once again, giving it to Nathan Dyer, a very nice volley in the 45th minute to put us up 4-2 against Wigan. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how we would go into halftime, ahead 4-2, but we knew we needed some more goals to ensure victory, and Jesse Rodriguez puts us towards that goal with yet another effort in the 61st minute. 26 goals for him in the league. He is an absolute monster. I recommend getting him in any league you're in, but very strange. penalty here, we would have had the goal. But Jesse Rodriguez says, never mind that. I'm going to score it anyway. And he finishes his hat trick in the 81st minute. The victory was ours, all 3 points. And we were looking to put together a pretty impressive run in the league now. Hopefully the days are gone where we keep dropping points to inferior opponents and we start picking up points everywhere we can, and against stronger opponents we start getting that crucial point or maybe even grabbing 3 points. Then maybe we can talk about that 5th place spot being ours for the rest of the season. But guys, that is where this episode will end. Again, I'm sorry for taking so long to put one of these videos up. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed and enjoyed enough to ask me where I am. Thank you for not unsubscribing me, for not putting these videos up. But I should have another video up within the next couple of days. I know I say that a lot, but I'm really going to try hard to get on a more regular schedule with school and work and everything else. But I really do appreciate you guys watching, and please like or subscribe if this is your first time or you just haven't yet and you enjoy the series. All right, have a great day, guys, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.